How everyone doing? So for my Massachusetts curriculum video, I have decided to do U.S. History, U.S. History 2, Topic 3, Subpoint Period 3. My fault. So the way that the Massachusetts curriculum works is that it is broken up into 4 major topics for high school. For secondary education, you have your U.S. History 1, U.S. History 2, and then you have your World History 1 and your World History 2. It's not broken up as there's like no certain order, but it's based on the school system that you go to. So I did choose U.S. History 2, T3, Period 3, and that is broken up into 12 little subpoints. It's mostly World War II, and some little lying facts. So what I would like to cover would be the American isolation leading up to the war, the rise of fascism in Europe with Hitler and Mussolini, why the U.S. entered the war, which would be like Pearl Harbor, and then like German notes like the Zimmerman and whatnot. And I also go into primary sources. That's what it says. Use primary sources to look at important battles such as the Battle of Midway, Pearl Harbor, D-Day, Iwo Jima. You also have things like the Yalta and Potsdam Conference that's following the war. We also break down. We got the atomic bomb. So when it comes to the atomic bomb that we dropped on Japan, personally, I would like to use, if I was teaching the class, I would like to use a pro and con method of should we have dropped the bomb. I remember this when I learned it in high school. I did think it was very insightful, and it gave good discussion, and gave a certain point of view that some kids don't think about, and it gave myself my own view. So I'd like to maybe install that to himself. After the bomb, you look at long-term consequences of what happened after World War II in the United States, especially. You have your economic growth coming out of the Depression, the use of the women in the workforce, the internment camps that we'd set up in the West Coast of Asian Americans based on Japan's actions. So again, I take a whole day separately, I think, to work on the internment of the Asians, because some people don't forget that we had done that. So I remember using I'd have an interactive slideshow and notes to go along with that, and a couple assignments that I remembered where we looked at videos, and there's like a whole online website that I would have students can go through and look at. After following that, we go what leads to the Cold War with Germany and all of that, but we have especially the rocket that goes up, Sputnik, and what we have, and it has a subpoint of Dwight D. Eisenhower's response to that, and what led Americans to go more towards science and the space race. And then the last point we have is the diplomatic policies of JFK and Lyndon B. Johnson going into Vietnam and with Russia. So looking at that, I can remember, I take some primary sources you can look at. JFK inaugural speech that he gave in 1960, and you can look at the speech that Lyndon B. Johnson gave in 1963 after JFK's assassination, which leads to, talking about communism and the rise of what, we see the Red Scare, McCarthyism, and stuff like that. And using primary sources, we can have the students help, really understand it, a more difficult and converse and colluded subject. I think that would be like a brief little way I describe maybe the curriculum. Maybe this is a longer chapter, in my opinion. I feel like it takes a lot of time. You're gonna take this slow, as is impactful. But yeah, thank you.